Welcome, Ultras, Switchy Sisters, and Danonites alike to episode 40 40 of the weekly episodic Game Adjacent live stream podcast show. This is Switch to Ultra on Tuesday nights. Now that we are back, we took a short 2-week break, and because of that, we have a handful of directs to cover. I know other companies call them other things, but listen, they're directs, as well as updates on previous predictions and announcements. I am your co-parent, BHultra. Oh, I see. Wait, hold on. Is this me? Is this on me? Am I talking to ghost of my past? All right, I'm just gonna keep. I'm powering through this. Squirty third. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were referring to the actual episode of Switch to Ultra. No, we're on episode 40 right now. I can tell you guys that we are in fact on the 40th episode of this show. Not 40 weeks in a row. However, not counting this one, moving forward, if we are continuing every Tuesday. Now that we are fully back, I keep taking hiatuses at the most inopportune times. That we are, not counting this episode, 6 weeks away, 6 installments away from the anniversary. The 1-year anniversary of Switch to Ultra. I can't believe it's already almost been a year. I tend to do that a lot, where I'm like, oh man, this thing is happening in 2 years. Man, I can't believe it's already been that long. Meanwhile, I'm adding an additional 2 years. I think every year we surpass Switch to Ultra, we should just add a new member. It should keep going until there's like 12 people sitting here. Because right now, it's me. I'm here, and it's me. Am I missing something? I don't know. Let me check on my stats to make sure everything I'm doing is up to snuff. Is it all? Okay, let me check my microphone settings. I think that should be correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing everything correctly. I think it's just...
Yeah, sorry, my audio is being weird right now. Give me a sec.
Oh, you're good. No worries. I'm tanking through this.
I'm your Uncle Dan.
Hi, Dan. Dan's here, too.
I wasn't allowed to speak until Switchy stepped in. That's in my contract.
Oh, right, yeah. It's like a top billing situation. Well, you're also... the reason there's a divide is because you guys can't actually be in the same room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now... I don't really quite know which order to do these in, because we have had, like I said, 2 gap weeks where we weren't doing Switch to Ultra. So a decent amount has happened. The main thing, I think the last time we spoke on Switch to Ultra, it was right ahead of that Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct. And it seems like this is sort of the direction we're going with Nintendo games now. It happened a lot last year that I don't think this means we're not getting general directs, but it seems like every major Nintendo release has had its own direct, at least if it's primarily made by Nintendo. But that doesn't even necessarily apply to something like Kirby Air Riders, but Sakurai has always been an outlier anyway, a real wild card. So let me ask both of you. Oh no, sorry, you go ahead.
I mean, definitely for games that have a lot of hype, and you know, I've said this before on the show, but it always surprises me like how much people like Tomodachi Life. Not that I don't like Tomodachi Life, I fuck with it heavy, as the kids might say, but it doesn't seem like a game that would be as... Like, there are a lot of people I know who aren't like that passionate about Nintendo or whatever that really like Tomodachi Life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's always kind of surprising to me, because I had like in real life friends texting me about the direct, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect to hear about this from you.
When I was watching the Switch 2 direct from last year, that really made everything seem a lot more exciting. I was texting with people that I hadn't really talked to in years, because it was the same group of people I covered E3 2019 with as like the first video on the BHultra channel. And I was looking back through that to talk about for the Smash video, you know, that era, 2019. And I remember one of the announcements at E3 was Silksong, or like the sequel to Hollow Knight. So as soon as we actually saw footage, I like texted these people. I'm like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while. I don't know if you've seen it, but it seems like Silksong is actually like happening now. And then I didn't even play it, but I might have a new opportunity to do so. We'll get into that. I suppose we could just jump into this right now. Let me ask you guys, did you guys watch the Tomodachi Life Living the Dream Direct?
Yes.
Do you have any...
Yeah, I did.
Do you have any, like... I mean, I'm just going to go through it, but any specific thoughts? Oh, we're going off the assumption that everyone's already seen this.
Did I've already forgotten the clown guy's name?
It's Hugh Morris.
Well,
Hugh Morris, yeah.
I learned this recently. I was going to say, yeah, in America, it's Hugh Morris. But for whatever reason, there's a different UK direct with different characters.
Oh, I didn't know there. I knew there was a different Japanese one, but I didn't know there was a different UK one.
Yeah, it's all like cultural stuff.
UK direct right now.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because like I don't know. I mean, I guess just there's something kind of like culturally interesting that they're like, okay, we can't have humorous like the American the British people won't like humorous.
The European mind cannot comprehend this. It's simply too good of wordplay. But humorous is sort of I don't want to say taken the world by storm, because sometimes it is just like internet circles, and it's hard to tell whether or not the classification, and even like their protagonist is a different person. That I if you could believe it or not, I was talking to a Brit about this recently, that even the setup even the setup of the direct or the trailer, because the direct is meant to follow one character, that our character is a university student, and I didn't actually watch all of this, but I'm pretty sure theirs isn't. It's like a completely different sort of meet cute setup. I don't think it's because the university system is different over there, because for the most part, when it comes to like actual, from what I know, over there, senior year and the year before that in high school is what they call college, and then college is what they call university. It's a real topsy-turvy country. Everything's out of whack.
One thing I always thought was really funny is that like Harry Potter didn't just do that. Like they actually do have like houses within the schools. Or maybe that's not like so much of a thing anymore, but like the Gryffindor, Slytherin shit, like that's based on a real phenomenon.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching, I don't know if I thought every high school was like that or if I just assumed they were in college, but I remember like watching Zoe 101 as a kid, and I was like, either I thought like, oh, I guess every high school is like this, or I thought that like, no, they're actually in college, even though like going back to watch it, they're like 14. That it never struck me as weird as a kid that they're like, yeah, they're teenagers and they just live at high school. Because that's not, I mean, boarding schools exist, but it's not as big of a thing. Even like all the individual
not in America. Like there's like, I mean, I guess so Zoe 101 really took place in a boarding school?
I don't think it was a boarding school, but it was a high school where they all like attended, like they all moved into rooms and lived at the school, and they had a dean.
It was a boarding school.
Was it?
What else would it be then?
It might have been. I don't know.
Some made up Nickelodeon bullshit. I don't know. They're keeping this the same though. But no, you go on.
I was gonna say, in regards to like those game related directs specifically, I think it also just boils down to how, like, how many features there are, how involved things are, how in depth these games can be. That's why I think Kirby Air Riders definitely needed one. I don't know if they needed two per se. I think they could have gotten it done in one, but I do like both of them. I think this was a good one as well. I think Mario Kart World needed one and they got one, but I think they wasted their time going over stuff we already knew. I'm saying none of this is like bad things. I think these game related directs are all good ideas because it gives us an idea of what to expect from these games, as well as also selling it to newcomers who don't really have an idea of what these games are like other than like the fan hype.
Yeah, because I know that a couple of years back they weren't really doing directs for every game, but they did do an Animal Crossing New Horizons direct and also like a Pikmin 4 direct. Not that less people know about Animal Crossing, obviously more people know now, but just a lot of the mechanics that would require explanation. And when it comes to these individual game directs, I'm really back and forth. I mean, when we're doing the show, we have to cover most of the stuff anyway. But I like to be surprised going into games. And specifically with a game like Air Riders or Mario Kart, it seems like the direct is just showing off stages and characters, which I don't necessarily want to know before I play the game, as opposed to like actual game mechanics.
It's funny you say that, and I'll say this because like I don't know, it's probably a fun way to keep the discussion going. When they announced the second Kirby Air Riders direct, I was kind of not in the mood for it. Like I was like, oh. Not that I wasn't excited for the game, but it's just I don't know. I think for me, like there are very few games like I really want to know that much about before they come out. Like Smash Bros, like I think the fun of new characters is worth it for me in Smash Bros, but I was just kind of like, oh man, I gotta watch this for the video, for like, you know, the show, but I'm not like that into it.
Yeah.
All things considered.
I didn't mind
But-
as much for Kirby Air Riders because that was specifically a Sakurai direct, and those are always very entertaining because I just
That's true.
Sakurai is very entertaining. So
Yeah,
likes
if it was
talking about
any
that.
other game, like I probably would have been, I probably would have made more fun of it, like frankly, because
Right.
I think at least on the show, I think I was pretty open-minded about Air Riders. I mean, I like the game, I literally have it, but if it was any other game, I would have been like, really, 2 directs?
Yeah.
Really, we're doing that?
and also we also had like, in that regard, we also had Smash directs specifically. Like
Yes.
there were specific directs that were just dedicated to Smash. I mean, let's be real here. E3 2018 for Nintendo was just Super Smash Brothers. I know. They
I remember
had
I was kind of
other
pissed
stuff.
off about that. Like, cause yeah, no, it was like all Smash Bros.
You wanted more of
Like they had
Fortnite
like,
on the
was it like
Switch?
5 minutes of things and then like Smash Bros the rest of the time?
Yeah, I
Wasn't
remember that
Yeah,
was the
basically.
same E3 where they showed off the new Mario Party, and in the very short trailer, they show people placing 2 switches next to each other, and the character moving from one switch to the other. And thinking about that now, like looking back, can you do that in the game? I don't think I've ever actually done that or tried that or seen anyone that has.
I've never had a reason to do that. Like, I
Right.
don't need. But the other thing is like that game didn't get online for like 5 years for some reason. So you know,
They had to
who
keep it all
knows,
reserved
honestly.
inside. But yeah, like, in comparison, because this is obviously as a direct introducing a lot of people to Tomodachi Life, and I don't want to call it too early, you know, but I do think that this has the possibility not to reach New Horizon levels because that was a very specific situation where everyone was stuck inside, but this has that casual lean, and it already seems really exciting, but it also, you know, could walk the line of customizing is really fun, but then once it gets going, it kind of teeters out. That's sort of how I felt about Tomodachi Life, unless you're like making your own show or fun or doing something specific with the characters. Once you've got everything set up, there's not a whole lot more to do once you've seen all of it. But this one seems, I would say, more vast, like from a progression standpoint, but way more customizable. And not just with the characters,
no,
but later on
absolutely.
when they say that you can just fully customize the actual island itself.
it's clear that they wanted to do something akin to Animal Crossing in that regard. Like they wanted to take those aspects of Animal Crossing and put it into this.
Yes.
Which I think is a good. I've never played the original Tomodachi Life. The only exposure I have is through,
Really?
like, peanut butter gamer videos and stuff like
Oh,
that.
dude.
You're in for a
Good
treat.
times.
But and through like Twitter clips and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you know,
Awkward.
you know, from what I could tell, that you can't really customize that much other than, you know, the characters and like certain events that happen. Like there's no islands. There's no like. Maybe are there rooms? I don't actually know how that works.
You
I
can
don't know, like,
change the room design itself, so you can be like, oh, I want this room to be a library, or
Yeah, they're
I
little
remember
dioramas.
there was the hospital room, and it had this like flavor text that says most people don't like staying at the hospital, but it's certainly an option. For some reason, I remember that really well. It reminds me of like the TF2 hat taglines or the furniture around or anything.
It is, you know,
reminded me
it's
of
a
something I did want to bring up something later.
Sure.
So thank you for reminding me of that.
in this direct or for a later
no,
thing.
like later on. when
Oh,
we
okay,
discuss.
yeah. I mean, it's mostly a. I can't find it, but I also heard that I think the name of this bear in the UK version is just Milk, which is gross. I don't want to think about a Milk
That's hilarious.
plushie.
That's so funny.
I don't want to think about a Milk plushie ever again. Oh yeah, and then you can. This bit specifically was nuts to me. You could just do a little drawing like this, and then it
Follows you around. And
yeah, it's like a little PNG that it carries around.
Have they ever done something like that? It's really that's like I don't know.
Like in
that's something that they
Tomodachi or
did
in general?
Well, drawing things like I feel like that's a thing. I remember like in
Yes,
Mario Kart
yes,
DS.
in Drawn to Life.
Oh,
That was a
What
big
about
one.
Freaky Forms? You guys fuck with Freaky Forms?
what's that?
That's a.
I've
That's
heard
a
It was like an
that's,
early 3DS ware game for like the
Yeah, I was gonna
eShop.
say that's like a very. That's a very like cold
Deep
thing
cut.
right there. That's a very deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Isn't
checking
that
in
like
just
the
to be
sequel
sure.
to Electroplankton?
Oh,
I-
bro, Electroplankton.
I didn't
Good time.
know. I only know about Electroplankton through the Smash Bros. Stage.
I tried one of the games just so I could, like,
Whoa.
I don't know, have experience with electroplankton, but I didn't really get it.
I didn't even just notice this. There, you can texture the buildings. How did I not catch that at first?
Yeah,
I
you
just
texture
thought,
Oh, yeah,
the
you can do
buildings,
that.
The ground, the clothing. It's
yeah, this is
pretty cool,
it's an amalgamate. I mean, if this is people have wanted a
It's actually
new
more in depth
Tomodachi
than
Life
Animal
game.
Crossing. Which
Yeah,
is
if it's a
kinda crazy.
combination of Animal Crossing and the Miitopia Switch version, where you could fully customize your character even beyond the Mii creator.
Do you think this is gonna like take over Animal Crossing's popularity? Because it seems like there's a lot more you can do. That being said, apparently one of the things you can't do is share Mii's online, which is a big point of contention.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
QR
that's a
codes were such a
disappointment for
big
me.
part of Tomodachi Life on the 3DS.
I guess Nintendo is just worried about people, I don't know, like, you know, excuse my vulgarity, but making like Hitler me's or like Charlie Kirk me's or something like that.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I mean, it's like Nintendo's been able to do that in the past, and
They did it with
haven't, like,
Miitopia.
They did it with Miitopia. They've
did
had
with
stuff
Miitopia,
like
yeah.
that in Animal Crossing. Like occasionally you see someone make something vulgar and gross as like your custom design, custom outfit in Animal
They
Crossing.
did it in the Smash Stage Builder.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's still
Oh,
an issue
gosh.
in the
Sure.
Smash Stage Builder.
No, I'll be honest. I won't go into detail. Maybe I shouldn't say this at all. But I remember I was playing Smash Ultimate, and I don't play on custom stages like ever. So there were like some edgy shit that I had like as a custom stage. And I remember I opened the custom stages menu, and I was like playing with a friend that I didn't want to make a joke like that to a friend. So I kind of see this open, and I didn't think they were paying that much attention. So I very quickly changed to the next page of like stages. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, because there's like
That is crazy.
it's uncomfortable.
Wait, like you were going through their stages?
No, my stages, because there's like you know, like especially when I was like that, when I was a lot younger, like I was you know, I was a bit of an edgelord, so I thought shit was funny, and like so I opened it up and I'm like, oof. Yeah, I don't think that's reflective of my character as a person anymore.
Mhm.
But I haven't like gone back in time to like prune my stages.
Yeah.
I don't think they noticed though, but it was like, ooh.
I'm trying to find it right now. It made me think of something else. I don't think I can find it. It's like some Smash tournament that was streaming live, and they were just between sets, and they're, you know, people who run the tournament bring their Switch setups, so they just like, okay, we have time to kill and we're on stream, so they left the game and went to like the images tab, and all of the screenshots were like a different character's feet. That was like live on stream. I don't remember whose Switch setup it was, or if I could find the video again, but it was really funny.
Oh, it's
But,
so uncomfortable.
I mean, I think it'll pass Animal Crossing's popularity? No. Like, current Animal Crossing popularity? Maybe. But it's not going to outsell New Horizons, because, again, that was a very specific situation where I would say few games were coming out in 2020, but, like, that game came out like a week or so after lockdown started, right? It was
I think
pretty
it came
immediate.
out like March 21st, 22nd.
Yeah, it was March
and that
20th.
was like a week after my university got shut down. So like it was
And
it was
people
an
were still-
unprecedented like kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, people were still asking Nintendo to release it early because
remember that.
everyone
That
was
was
really
funny.
upset.
Oh
yeah.
yes, that was very funny.
Sending a letter of approval. What would that even accomplish? Releasing a game a week earlier?
Be fun. I don't know.
But
like,
the-
I guess
Maybe it wouldn't have flopped if it released a week earlier.
Ooh, what, Animal Crossing?
Yeah, obviously that made all the difference.
They fell off
They
in
fell off hard.
2020. That there's a little bit more free movement. That the QR code thing, or rather like the not allowing to share online thing, that doesn't strike me as a, maybe this is, I mean, it's still stupid, but benefit of the doubt, it doesn't strike me as like a hard line. It strikes me as like some bullshit that won't be in the game that they'll add as like the first update.
Yeah, I mean, never underestimate the power of laziness. People will be very petty if it means that they can be very lazy. I'm very guilty of this myself. You know, like if I had a choice between making a detailed Hank Hill me or taking it from someone who already made it, I'd probably take it from someone who already made it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how I am. I mean, I don't really
Can
find
you
making Mii's
actually
to be
don't-
like that fun.
No, you have to make them in this. Can you actually base them off of Mii's? Yeah, create based on Mii on your console. So you can still already
so, yeah.
download Mii's on the actual Switch console.
You can? I guess I just didn't know
but
that.
can you share those either? Can you? I don't actually know.
I think so. Because what you just said reminded me, I do have a Hank Hill Mii, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make it. So it came from somewhere for sure. Regardless, it's an annoying thing. QR codes were such a big part of the social aspect of Tomodachi Life. Because not only would you get that character, but their personality would already be created and their voice, and even they would come with rooms. Like, not custom rooms, but say if you were distributing, let's say, yeah, like a Hank Hill Mii on Tomodachi Life, you can set which diorama background it would have. So if anyone wanted to have Hank Hill in like his garage or whatever, you can just scan that QR code right from the jump without having to unlock that diorama background. That's so much of it. I mean, I'm excited. Of course I am, obviously. And now we have proper release date, that was the one thing I assumed we were going to get from this direct. We now know it's coming out April 16th, 2026. But also, right from the jump, because we're going to do the sizzle reel right now, in creating the character, this is I think the biggest pop off, the first thing I noticed, just off of the metric of being right, of being correct. Yeah, this bit. The dating preferences and the gender preferences in general. And we now have gay inside Tomodachi Life, which means if we can go ahead and switch our position, switch our attention over here, I'm going to put a little check mark. So far, I've gotten one of my predictions for Nintendo's 2026 right. Has anything else on this happened yet? I think my other thing was Twilight Princess on Nintendo Switch Online, but that was a whole... That we don't know for sure.
I think we'll probably talk about it later, but I have some stuff to say about Mario Tennis Fever. But we can talk about that later.
Well, while I have you here and while we're going through stuff, because we have other states of plays and partner presentations, whatever that means. Now our timeline, our schedule for 2026 has changed a little bit because of I guess we could just go to the partner direct part now because some of that does happen there. Nothing in it particularly. I'll be honest, I didn't watch this, nor did I wake up for it. Partner directs, to each their own, but more often than not, they're just ports, right? On occasion, there are new announcements, and that's how we got in this partner showcase. We got A-Train 9 Evolution and Orbitals. Orbitals is coming summer 2026.
Well,
That's
we kind of already knew about Orbitals, though.
Did we? Okay, well, I'm learning about Orbitals.
At the Game Awards.
Oh, right. How could I forget?
That was like the one Switch announcement.
Amongst all the other... Yeah, because throughout 2025 and even like into this year, I was doing my best to keep up with all the Switch 2 exclusives. That's why on launch day I was playing like Fast Fusion and Survival Kids. And then when Drag X Drive came out, I was playing that Campfire game and that other visual novel game. Looking back, I've realized that I've missed a couple. I haven't played the Tourist Deluxe.
That game's great. I love Tourist.
You have played this?
I played Deluxe. Yes, I love that game. That is a really fun game.
That's nuts. What is it? I guess I'm about to find out.
It's kind of like a Zelda-like adventure game kind of thing.
Okay.
You go around to different islands. You kind of like, there's one central location. You kind of have to keep going to different like shrines and doing these puzzles. It can be very difficult, but it's very fun. And it looks fantastic. The deluxe version looks fantastic. Like, it's not doing justice right now how good this game looks on a Switch.
Yeah, you mean the game doesn't normally look like this?
There are some moments of frustration. Like, you're going to be frustrated at certain points, but I'll say this game is like really fun. It's also not like a very long game. You can get it done in like 4 hours.
Holy shit, I gotta get the Tourist then. I gotta get caught up before the next release. And I know that voxels are their own art style, but this always makes me think of like when Minecraft was really big on YouTube, so every indie game kind of looks like this, even if they were were unrelated. Remember Nate and Dookie playing like Cube Adventure?
For a lot of people.
I don't think it's a turnoff. It just reminds me of that. I don't even think it necessarily makes it a bad game. But there were additional ones like Tokyo Scramble? Anyone play any Tokyo Scramble?
That was announced during the partner thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's somewhere.
I have not even touched it. I have not touched it at all.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything in this partner showcase you'd like to cover? Because I mostly skimmed it. Why is this the most replayed bit?
I mean, we don't have to cover it. I'd just say my highlights were definitely the Bomberman collection, because I love seeing some Bomberman love. And I'm glad console archives are a thing. I think that's really great that they're opening it up to console games, especially the PS1. Re-releasing PS1 games is great.
Yeah. I've said before that I kind of just want as corporate as the term is, the Switch family of systems to just be the perfect video game console that eventually every game is just on. Even if it they're porting in the middle of a Nintendo Direct, they're like, that's right, Final Fantasy VII from 1997 is coming to the Switch. I'm like, okay, that doesn't really affect me, but I like the idea of almost every game being on the Switch, and thus being on the Switch too.
Yeah, I mean,
more the merrier.
I'm glad that things are making the jump to Switch.
Like Fallout 4.
There's still a few. Oh yeah, let's talk about the one more thing announcement. Oh my god.
Oh, is it at the very end?
Every single reaction I've seen to this has been just disappointment inevitable.
I actually didn't know about this. Are you talking about the Oblivion remaster?
No, just when Todd Howard appeared on screen.
Oh, was it before this?
Yeah, because it's one more thing. And it's
right.
So list of Bethesda games coming.
Right. Yeah, the last three things are Fallout, Indiana Jones, and I see.
Because Indiana Jones, I'll say that's a big one. I can understand that making it, but this is the Switch 2. This is supposed to be on the same level as Xbox One, PS4 maybe higher. I don't know the exact specs, but Fallout 4 came out on the Xbox 360.
Did it actually?
On the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Xbox.
Why
are you guys ready for the computing power of this game from 2015? Woo,
and to top it all off, only Indiana Jones is on cart completely. The other two are game key cards, which I find baffling in regards to deciding what is what.
Can Xbox just die already so we can get
thing?
Can Xbox just die already so we can get Game Pass on other consoles? I would no.
That's what I heard. I heard like when it comes, it's just a storage space thing that it's especially right now, the cartridges that hold let's say 64 gigabytes of storage space for the big games are just really expensive. So
but it's fascinating to me that I don't know. It seems weird. Why not then make that game also a game key card? Because that's larger than 64 gigabytes. You have to, it's all on cart, but you still have to download online to get everything.
We got to bring back double discs, like requiring 2 discs to play a game.
I know. I also, as much as I love Bomberman and that kind of thing, I have not bought it because I am waiting for the physical, because I like physical.
Yeah. Impressive Switch collection. It's
also funny because it's funny that the Konami announcement was the best of the Direct,
of all the presentations,
in my opinion, because of what happened at the State of Play.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention, now that we're at the Partner Direct, there was one game that was brought up the day before, and that was the most hyped of anything that had been announced ever, and that was the re-release of Poker Night: The Inventory. And I think we are not making a big enough deal about this coming back. I think this is the biggest deal, and I don't think I'm overreacting. I think that this is the fact that it's not only coming back, the fact that it's coming back multi-platform, and that they're actually bringing back the TF2 stuff as well. That is.
I never got those awesome items. I was always jealous of people who had them.
It came out of nowhere.
Why was it taken down in the first place?
Was it taken down? Is that why it's going back on Steam?
Telltale shut down.
Okay.
And then licenses just ran out.
That's one thing I hate about modern copyright law, is that it's you can use our character for a game, but you have to pay us forever. It's
it is.
I don't know.
It's very strange.
Crazy to me that this is happening, and I'm very glad it's happening from Skunk Ape. I spent the last week and a half going over their Sam and Max games. Fantastic, by the way. I can't recommend them enough. Especially the third one, Devil's Playhouse, is easily the highlight of the series. But this is like a massive deal that like this crossover game could just come back out of nowhere and just be here and be allowed to happen. You know, I think the second game is easily my favorite of the two. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm hoping that this opens the door for that to come out as well. But
was that one also delisted?
Yeah, that was delisted before the first one, actually.
Did they ever come out on console, or you just can't play them?
No,
anywhere?
It was only Steam. Only Steam. Which, again, like I said, I'm very happy that they're doing this because it is, you know, they have been my babies on my Steam library for forever, and it has been a dream of mine to have them re-released, and this is it. And they're actually like updating it too. Like the graphics look better. They're updating the AI because one of the things about it is the original game, they didn't really play poker all that well. Like it was really just like a talking simulator.
Just a chill
but now
hang.
it's like, but now they actually like play poker a little better now. I think bugs are fixed, just general that kind of thing. And like I said, I you know, I don't want to like take this whole thing up, but like that announcement alone, completely trumped everything in the direct the next day.
Oh yeah,
completely.
The partner direct and the state of play. I heard people saying, people were telling me that it was the best state of play.
The highs of state of play.
Yeah,
it hit the highs of state of play. Maybe even surpassing it to me, but like that state of play was one of the better ones. I will give it that.
Okay, I didn't watch through the whole thing yet. I just want to say for this, well, for one, I really wanted to do a joke right as soon as you said like, oh, dealing with all the bugs, and I wanted to say like, oh, dude, his name is Sam or his name is Max because I genuinely got them mixed up and I forgot which one was the rabbit. From Sam and Max from Game Tap fame alongside Space Ghost. I recorded a bit for this earlier.
I was thinking about that too originally. I'm like, I could make a thing here, but I'm not going to. I'm above this.
I'm different from you guys. Just making sure I don't fit in. Every day we get closer towards the orange box being on the Switch to some degree. Because we already have the Portal collection.
The fact that the Heavy is coming to Switch is insane to me at all. Like, that still baffles me completely that this is happening.
That's what it
I
felt
just wanted
like
to bring
to
that up
me.
before we didn't, to make sure we didn't forget talking about that.
Oh no, of course I had it pulled up in the tabs. Switchy actually, I think it was around when I did the Adult Swim video about not failed pilots, but all the shows and stuff that didn't come to fruition. Is shortly thereafter, because in the video I said that I really wanted to get into TF2, but I never played it when I was younger, and it's kind of too late now. Shortly after, it was me, Switchy, and Jay, I think, were loading in like custom TF2 servers, like fan held together. So I know that it was you, Switchy, right? I'm not misremembering this. You were with us when we were doing that?
I actually don't know. It might have happened.
This
like
may
Michael
as well
Jackson.
happen.
Like, I don't know. Like, straight up.
You have deniability. Well, I mean, you played TF2 when you were younger is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I know. I played it a lot.
You're very deep in the culture. Like, I've said this before that with stuff like Gmod or even like viral indie horror games or modded Minecraft, I never had a computer as a kid that could like play games. I didn't have my own computer. I didn't get a gaming PC until I graduated. So I missed out on a lot of the PC games. If it wasn't on console, then I wasn't playing it. So TF2 was a big one. I mean, TF2 was on the 360, but only for as long as they wanted to support that one. So it's a huge internet gaming thing that I just missed out on in its entirety.
You can play it now.
You can play it now, yeah. Didn't they just release like this big mod for TF2? Like this big, like, what was it? Like TF2 Classic or TF2?
No, that came out years ago, I think. But to be honest, like, I never really played the mods much, so I wouldn't
There was a big Quake mod that came out recently. It was like it was just upgrade, like the engine was entirely unchanged, but it was just upgrading it towards modern graphics and using a lot of fan-made maps to bolster the release. And the reviews are in. Quake is still good. Quake still moves like Quake. Evidently. But we had that. I was just going over the exclusives that I forgot. So we have Tokyo Scramble and the Tourist. We also have these two games by the same company, Pool Room Billiard and Simple the Mahjong Volume 1. Neither of these games I
know
played.
about these. These are
Apparently this came out last year, which I did not know. Or this one, was announced in December. But they are out. They are both out on the Switch too. I guess I have to play them at some point for D3 Publisher to get them in the... If you've never played Pool, this is the best way to play Pool. It sounds like an ad read. I've never heard of this game at all, but I know Pool Billiard. I didn't know that they were different things. I just assumed they were fancy synonyms for the same game.
Yeah, same.
But at that, and then we have the state of play. But while we're going over the partner showcase and all those other Switch 2 exclusives, we now have an updated timeline for what we know for 2026. And we weren't here for February 5th. Put a little X by that because nothing was announced on February 5th, right? I don't think we missed anything major. Continuing with the Thursday theory.
Was anything announced or released? I'm trying to remember.
I mean, nothing was released, but now because of the partner showcase, we know that A-Train 9 Evolution is coming out June 9th, and Orbitals is coming to the Switch 2 in the summer. Nothing is updated about Dusk Bloods, or I guess Pokemon Champions wouldn't be a partner game. But we're coming towards the end of February. We're going to get a Pokemon Presents at the very least. I'm not super holding out for a Direct. Although, that being said, now that we have a proper release date for Tomodachi Life, right, that is April 16th. So all of these are going in order. We don't have a release date for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Wait, but the 5th, I just realized the 5th is the Direct. Wasn't that what that was?
Was that the partner showcase?
Yeah, that was the partner showcase.
Oh my God, you're right. All right, I'm stupid. Okay, so we did. What are the odds? We did get something on February 5th.
It was so nothing that we didn't even remember what day it was.
Right. Well, listen, it wasn't the same as Poker Night, so I didn't care. So, okay, well then, listen, this theory still has legs, it still floats, but that means because today is February 17th, that we could be getting something on February 19th, which is this upcoming Thursday. Anyway, now that we
could be getting an NSO release, but they just released Virtual Boy, so I don't even know, honestly.
Right. That's what I was teeing us up for as well, is now that we have this release date. I think we're due for a February Direct because outside of Yoshi's release date, like once we get Yoshi's release date, we don't know what the rest of the year holds. So assuming that this also comes out in April, by April there will be a drought if the next Direct isn't until the summer, although maybe the February, June, September timeline isn't going to continue because last year the reason we started Switch 2 Ultra at the end of March is because the Switch 2 Direct was April 1st, right? It was the very beginning of April.
It wasn't April 1st, I'm pretty sure, but it was in early April.
Yeah. Well, maybe we won't get one.
It might have been in March. Wait.
The Switch 1 one was the end of March, and then the Switch 2 one was beginning of April. I feel like I remember them being days, like a day apart, but that could be wrong.
It wasn't a day apart. I think it was like a week.
Okay, so I think it was like March 31st and then maybe April 4th or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe not a Direct in February, but maybe after Wonder releases, but before Tomodachi Life releases, we get like an early April Direct, and that'll just be the thing we get each year now. Regardless, now that these have released, we've got the Tomodachi Life Direct, the release of Mario Tennis Fever, and as of today, evidently, the Virtual Boy attachment for the Virtual Boy. Did the games launch earlier than the peripheral?
The Japanese one did.
Okay. So our next
one launched...
No, you going?
No, I was saying the American one launched later than the peripheral arrived.
Okay. Our next major release will be Pokepokia. There was a major, I don't know what to call it, not presentation, but there was legitimately, and I didn't know about it until the day after, there was a pop-up for Pokemon that you could play Pokepokia. It was happening in London. Now I was in Manchester at the time, and I'm like, oh shit, and we just couldn't. It happened the day after, or rather, I learned about it the day after it happened. So I could have been on the ground, hands on the wheel for Pokepokia. But that's the next Switch to. We got to do that, honestly. Like, I know. Listen, we're still building up Switch 2 Ultra. Earlier, I was doing a bit that we're coming up on the year one of Switch 2 Ultra, because we did start at the end of March, and I was saying at the end of each year, we should just add a new person until we got like 12 people sitting around this table discussing. But I would like to. Things. Yes, and then nobody dies. I would like to go to like
Dan shows up. Dan's the new guy, and he's the character that's added just to die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Every year we'll replace Dan, and then that next person.
The most loved one.
That's true. And you get to have an actual career because you got out early.
Yeah. True.
We're going to be riding this guy's coattails soon enough. But I would like to go to like PAX or in the era of Smash Bros. When they're like, oh, this demo is playable in like New York. I wouldn't mind like going there to do that.
Yeah.
Covering stuff on the ground floor. Listen, we're just getting our starts as journalists.
I've gone to New York for less.
I was thinking, this isn't set in stone, but I don't even know what I would do it for, but like going to Florida or Orlando, because they have that's where Nintendo World is, right? In Orlando?
Nintendo World, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Universal.
Listen, it might be worth doing. This is a little trip with the Switch 2 Ultra. It's called journalism. Maybe. It's a business expense.
Exactly. We just write it all.
Did you like make? Did I've heard of people that like they like? I mean, I shouldn't talk about this publicly, but you know, like a lot of things they count as business expenses on their taxes.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's why a lot of people recommend like turning your YouTube channel into an LLC or something.
Well,
because
you're
like
you supposed to more or less
do that. You can't.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm not an LLC. I and this isn't even me like the way we're like tiptoeing around it makes it seem like we're like gaming the system, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like the person really I talked to at H&R Block, I was like, yeah, I flew to conventions, but I didn't film anything there. And they're like, well, you're supposed to still list that on your business expenses. So I got off on like plane tickets as well. Yeah,
exactly. And I bought like new mic equipment this year. I bought some software to help me with editing. I can write all that stuff off.
Yeah.
I should be more of an adult who does his taxes, because like there's like savings I'm missing out on.
H&R Block has been very helpful.
The videos I've done. Oh no, sorry.
Thank you, H&R Block. Please sponsor us. Thank you.
That'd be crazy if everyone else is getting like ZocDoc and Honey, and we're getting H&R Block.
Have you guys seen that Honey documentary? Like that like series?
I watched some of it. I got the gist of it though.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like,
I don't want to bite the hand that feeds, right? Because I make my rent on YouTube. But we may have gone a little bit too far. Like the pendulum has swung the other way. Where when the adpocalypse first happened and then all these YouTubers were getting individual sponsorships, I was like, you know what? Good for them that they have, like, fuck it, who cares? I'll never play Raid Shadow Legends, but you know what? Get that back. Like, I'll never be upset about it. That now that YouTubers are hawking legitimate, like, gambling scams. Again, you know, the hand that feeds. I don't want to be that Egoraptor tweet that's like, oh, kill me if I ever make a Let's Play. But,
I mean...
I do think there's a little bit of more...
say that?
Yeah, there is a little bit of morality at play.
It's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm of two minds of that, because I will always like be like, don't do this, don't do that, blah 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 blah. But like I just, there's this channel I followed for a while. He's like a singer. He goes by the name of Smooth McGroove. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh, shout out!
Dude, I watched him a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, friend of the channel.
Yeah, so he just
get him on the show.
Under fire recently because he did a sponsored video for Coinbase. And you know, he got a lot of fire for that recently, and he did an update video about that. And you know, he's like, I have been making nothing from my YouTube video comebacks. Like, I've been making he shared the analytics too. And like, he's like, I made money from this, and it's not like I was telling. It's not like it was like an AI thing or a crypto in regards to like a scam service. It was a service for utilizing crypto. And again, I don't buy this at all. I don't buy it at all. But like, I think a lot of people are taking these because the payout is so good.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't necessarily blame them because YouTube isn't doing a good job taking care of the people that built it up. You know?
Yeah. You know, honestly, I don't see that much of an issue. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong, but I don't really see an issue with like sponsoring Coinbase personally, because like some people really think of it as gambling. I don't. I mean, I think of it as something speculative, but like, I don't know. I really couldn't blame him that much for it. And either way,
Plus,
you know,
he even like sponsored them. He did a song. He did like a song from their commercial. He's not like used Coinbase. No, he just did the
wait,
song.
really?
Oh, they commissioned him to
I'm being
do a song for the commercial?
100% serious. No, it was one of their commercials is like a parody of a song.
Okay.
Where they sing about Coinbase, and that was what he did. He did that. And they actually had
like,
someone
what?
reach out to him from them. It's like, we actually love your stuff. We've been watching it for a while. And he's been in contact with them. Like, there was like personal like conversations at there. Like he went very in depth about this. And
I assumed it was like, oh yeah, we're sponsored by this video was sponsored by Coinbase kind of thing.
No, the video itself was a sponsorship. Like it was him singing the Coinbase
But it
song.
wasn't like an ad read in the middle of a video. Like the video was
No,
an
it was
ad.
like in the description.
Oh, okay.
Like there was stuff for Coinbase, which I think is fun. Like at least in that regard, it's all like there's no hiding it. Like it's clear what it is. Like it's not like deceptively hiding it. Like do you remember that whole thing with like Raid Shadow Legends? Remember all that jazz?
Yeah.
I've heard they pay good money.
Right, but that's just
and it's just like, who cares if you take a sponsorship from Raid Shadow Legends?
Well, that's what I
Like,
was saying is
who
like
really cares?
That's not a morality thing. That's like the opinions of BH Ultra are not the opinions of Switch to Ultra or the other co-hosts. Raid Shadow Legends is just like a bad game. That's fine. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yes,
yeah,
it's also like,
I've heard people bring up
it's a predatory game too, in that it's something that is it's freemium of the worst regard.
Yeah.
So you're not saying it's not. I think the problem is that not that you're sponsoring a bad game. It's the fact that you're sponsoring a game that's very predatory in that regard.
Right.
And that can be related to what happened like with Smooth and like that kind of stuff. But I also think 9 out of 10 times people who take these sponsorship deals, they don't actually like use this stuff or do any of this stuff unless it's like sent to them.
No, of course not.
Like,
I've
I don't
always
think
wondered if
people
Wang really
sponsoring this
has
are condoning it.
really has a clan in Raid Shadow Legends that all his friends are.
I'm sure they gave him one.
I just think they're like doing it for the paycheck, and I can respect that.
No,
like,
of course, that's what I'm
never-
saying. But there are some ad reads where I'm like, all right, like, what I'm saying is I think we've over accepted a little bit too far. I don't think there's anything wrong with in-video ad reads, but I do think that individually there should be a line that each creator draws where it's like, okay, but I won't do that.
Yes, I think there are certain products that are very like off. You should not be doing this. I think if it's a scammy product, I think it's very, it's very like, again, that you're kind of tethering a line there because it's like, you have to assume that your viewers are smart enough to know not to actually do that. Like
Yeah.
you're doing this out of obligation to make money because you're not going to be making, even if your video gets 1 million views, that's not going to cover it.
Yeah, I've
because
never
everything's
seen
changing
an ad
nowadays.
read that made me like really want to use a product. I don't think I've ever used a product. Well,
That only worked once, and it was
I mean,
actually for a good product at the time, and it was Verve. If you
Okay.
remember Verve,
I do remember Verve.
but Verve also like died.
Yeah.
a really bad.
You're
death,
probably
so-
more susceptible to advertising than you think you are.
Well, I was gonna
honestly.
say like since I've gotten older, nothing's really appealed to me. Like maybe I'm cynical about it, but whenever I see an ad read, it makes me like kind of not want to use it specifically.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm very bad at getting rid of stuff. And I used to just display everything I had, even if it was like a nerd thing, like nerd culture. Now I only display the things I actually care about. Like I used to have a bunch of fucking Game of Thrones merch, even though I've never seen that show, just because like, oh, this is like a nerd thing. And that's because I would get Loot Crate every month because other YouTubers would do unboxings of it. And I just thought they thought that Loot Crate was cool. I didn't know that they were getting a little bit of that.
That's crazy. I remember the Loot Crate That whole fad was crazy.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to do an ad read in the middle of the video. The videos were Loot Crate unboxings.
Yeah, I remember there were like whole videos about that too. The other thing is also just like, I don't mind the ad reads, but if it's a 10-minute video and 2.5 minutes of that is ad read, that's a little scummy.
Yeah.
You know who's
Like,
really
that's
bad
like-
with that? YouTubers who make video editing tutorials. Like, it's egregious. Like, a lot of people who kind of like Cinecom and shit, like they'll have like a 6-minute video and like 90 seconds is like a story blocks ad. It's like it's like it's laughable.
I really hate when
I hate that.
people who cover serious topics have ad reads. Like, the video will be like, this predator was just exposed or something, and then it starts as like, oh, this video is provided by Honey or whatever. Like, I know that those videos still have value, but it seems a little scummy, a little bit.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on it because on some level, like, I don't know. I mean, there's like a journalistic effort in like that. You can argue there's like a journalistic effort when it comes to those kind of like drama, like oh, YouTuber exposes a creep video.
I mean, some of them.
It's
some
like,
of them
it's
are
like
just
tabloid
slop.
German. It's like tabloid German journalism.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I go back and forth on it because I think one thing that sort of happens with YouTube is because YouTube is a platform that kind of, evolved on its own independent of, a lot of the pressures and forces that kind of shape television,
Corporate
the television
interest.
industry. There's a lot of rules that kind of apply to YouTubers that just don't apply in the in like the celebrity Hollywood world. I mean, you have like celebrities doing like DraftKings ads and not even looking back. And it's interesting, in a lot of YouTube communities, you see like people get held to a really high standard, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I mean, I remember at one point, the YouTuber Freeze Eye, who makes content about competitive Pokemon, talks about like the tiering system, what works, what a lot of people like. He did a BetterHelp ad, and he was, I don't want to say forced because that kind of implies that he was made to do it, but he faced a lot of criticism because of that. And it was so interesting to me because I've seen YouTubers talk about BetterHelp and no one bats an eye. And I think it's also it's affected by what circles you're in.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting to me.
I just don't think it necessarily means they're above criticism. It's sort of, people will accuse you of like holding everyone back. If you say like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this ad read, it's like, oh, what, you don't want to support other YouTubers? I do think that I would say I would never do one, because again, Ego Raptor tweet, but I recognize my privilege in not needing to do ad reads. Just know that if in the future I'm doing an ad read in a YouTube video, my opinion has not changed. I just have less money, which is fine.
And, honestly, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess the point I make about the television industry is that, working with advertisers is, I mean, I guess people say they hate commercials. There's some truth to that, but I think people recognize that it's how stations make money.
Yeah, but that's different because that's why networks have bumpers that lead you into the commercials so that you know that the show is not the commercial. As opposed to a YouTube video where it's the person from the YouTube video in the middle saying, hey, and also this product.
Well, talk show hosts do that. Podcasts do that.
Paying the shows, the commercials are paying the networks.
Yeah.
You're not being paid, YouTube isn't being paid by the ads. You're being paid by the ads. So you kind of have to like realize that, like, yeah, I mean, it's a necessary evil. You got to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I think for a lot of people, the fact that it's the YouTuber themselves kind of taking the advertisement, it's sort of, and I think in a lot of cases, and this is me kind of talking about just the beliefs of consumers. I think when they can just imagine that it's the network making those kinds of money oriented decisions, they have more favor for the creator or the talk show host or the actor.
There's a level
of
detachment.
Yeah, even if, frankly, I mean, I'll be honest, I think a lot of actors, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, are also agents who work for their own to make money and for their own kind of living. And I don't know. I guess I just really hate the kind of myth of like, oh man, I don't I miss when YouTubers didn't do it for the money. I miss when people didn't do it this for that or whatever. To me, it just often comes off as really naive, and I don't know. I mean, I think in many ways that's the big reason why I've never taken an advertisement. Not because I don't see any like downside in it. I just know that I'm gonna get really annoyed by people saying I sold out or I'm just not who I used to be and stuff like that, because I just know people are gonna say that.
I miss the old Switchy.
Yeah, right.
I took an advertisement one time and I never got another one again. So
I just don't trust any of them. Like, I have my business email and they all
them,
look like
a lot of them are
scams.
sketchy.
Yeah.
I saw one. I saw one.
I will say the one I got, I had to take cake through Mercury Streamworks.
Oh, okay.
Which that was legit. Like, that was a HelloFresh thing. So it felt good doing it through a third party. I don't know if I could trust doing it through an email, because I am so afraid of my channel getting hacked and deleted, because I am not at that point in my channel history where I have the poll to be like, YouTube fix this.
Yeah.
I don't have that follower base. I don't have that poll, and I'm terrified of that. So, you know.
Man, if my channel gets hacked, I have to go back to Twitter to compose a tweet. That sucks.
You have to get Wang to retweet it or something.
I gotta hit up Quentin and bug him. He gets the wheels spinning. But
to be fair, I admire the big YouTubers who are like down to help out with that. It always makes me happy. It's like, oh yeah, we're all.
I think I said this on the show.
That we have to rely on them in the first place goes to show how terrible this system is. But that's a story for another day.
I mean, we're all you. Do you guys know anyone with managers?
No, I don't think I'm really on that level.
Well, that's the thing, is I know people who are on our level who have managers, and it shocked me.
Really?
You mean like
with like only like 100K or something?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's
they've
your
probably
level. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well,
they've probably been approached with from companies then, because I'm like trying to think, like, I mean, at least the people I know. I mean, it really depends. Because I'm thinking to myself, what kind of circumstance would...
To me, it just sounds stressful.
Approached by someone who already has done this business, and they're like, we can make you way bigger. We can help you hire people, turn like Switchy into a company. Because I've gotten like ads, like I've gotten like emails like that before, and I've never taken them that seriously, because I'm like, dude, I mean, like I talk about cartoons. Like I don't know how scalable it is in its current form, but that's probably the main thing. It also probably depends on like what kind of YouTube content it is in the first place.
Well, it's someone, it's like in our sphere that does sort of something similar, and we were talking about it, and they sounded like really, it's a stressful thing to be in. And something I'm struggling with this year is, I don't think all the projects I have like slated for this year, like, oh, this is going to be this month, and that's going to be that month. So many of them I need to cut down or cut into parts because it's just not doable in the allotted time. Yeah. And I'm gonna try and be a little bit more lax. I know I say that every year, but I'm genuinely trying now that I'll just release what is done when it's done. I'll use it in like a pie chart form. I think my issue before is that I would do yearlies. Like if I made a video and I had to split it into 2 parts, the second part would be 12 months later. And I think that's the problem, is I just need to, even at most like 6 months, like it needs to be a quicker turnaround, because I've never cared about, I don't want to say not cared about, I haven't cared about people who only want that one thing, because I'm like, well, they're going to get it each year. Like if somebody watches me only for Adult Swim, it's like, all right, well, you're going to get it every September. You get something. Same thing with like Total Drama, that I was like, okay, well, you're going to get it, it's fine. But when there's less of a schedule, I can understand why you're waiting for part 2 of a video and you're seeing like other videos. I think I just need to be more transparent, because I really like the surprise. I get giddy about the thought of like a video showing up in someone's feed and they don't know what it is. But I don't think that anyone else actually cares about that. Like most people announce their videos ahead of time.
Yeah. I'm actually sometimes a little bit secretive about it because I get paranoid about like making a project and then someone else makes basically the same video or kind of talks about the same topic. And I'm like, shit.
I've given up on that, honestly. Like, someone out there has already made a video about what I talk about. So I'm just like, screw it. I'll do it too.
Right. I mean,
Like,
ideally, people go to your channel for you.
Yeah, that's
Like-
debatable. I mean, well, I guess ideally, yes. But for example, back when I was making iceberg videos, like I would be locked down making those videos, and I try to make them as soon as possible because for me, like that kind of topic was a ticking time bomb. Or not in the sense that like,
Well,
like,
those are more informative and less opinionated. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's like I like. Someone was eventually going to make an Ace Attorney iceberg video. I wanted to be the first one, to be honest. I was. At least maybe there was one that got like 2,000 views that no one watched, maybe.
R.I.P.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I was like the first one that got a lot of views.
You should just re-release it and not say anything. As a new project. Well, I think people are more accepting of doing the same thing. Like, I think we like to believe that, like, oh, I can't do this. This other person did this. I don't want to step on their toes. But I mean, when my first video that did well was the Izzy video, and then Switchy commented on it, and it was that's how we met. You were very kind and outwardly about it. When, you know, in theory, when you're thinking about this, like, holy shit, the other Total Drama guy is going to be pissed. I got a YouTube comment one time.
Not for theory content. Not for theory videos.
Right. If I did a roast, it may have been a little different. I got a comment one time, somebody saying like, "Oh, please talk about like all of Johnny Test," and I didn't say anything, but then like Nintendo liked that comment and like co-signed the idea because initially my thought was like, "Well, Nintendo already did. Like, I don't need to do it. He already did it." But it sounds like he also wants me to do it because it is different. People have different perspectives. I'm still not gonna do it, but I love Nintendo dearly. It is different. Why did I bring this up? It's something about schedules. Oh, right. So even before then, like my goal, and my goal still is to release a video at the end of the month, every month. And I just do that for my own personal reasons. Imagine if you were contractually obligated to make a video each month. That sounds like horrifying.
I don't even want to think about that. Like,
yeah,
that
like you have a
YouTuber. I've seen YouTubers get in a lot of heat with their fans because like they're kind of cracking under like what they're theoretically supposed to do. I don't want to name names. I don't want to like diss fellow travelers, but I've seen like some get a lot of heat for like, oh, you're just uploading this because you need like you need to fulfill your like once a month minimum or something.
This is just YouTube slop.
So it's like, I don't know. I mean, on some level, I think that for what I do, I don't really have a lot of faith in it as like a consistent, meaningful like business that can like show predictable returns or whatever, unless like I completely change the approach. And I don't know. I mean, wouldn't like
right.
Fundamentally, because I know YouTubers, and frankly, I mean,
me too.
They yeah, right. No, I know YouTubers, and they like hire writers and they hire editors, and I don't want to diss them too hard. I mean,
that's kind of nuts to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like so much of the identity of my channel has to come from my word. The idea of someone else writing for me is I can't maybe like for me that kind of goes against the. I can't think of it that way because I feel like whatever I do is just very personal. But
yeah, I have edited bits written into the scripts. Like, how would they know what's supposed to go here? I think I just don't trust anybody else to do it for my main channel videos.
That's part of it. I think also, but and frankly, unless I feel like unless you have like 1 million subscribers, it seems like really hard to make a consistent like business plan out of a channel, straight up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because like ad revenue doesn't make that much. I don't know. But.
I have no horse in this race because I actually do write and edit for another channel. So I got
which one?
Nothing.
Which
I do it for Johnny Two Cellos.
shout out.
Oh yeah.
I do his American Dad videos, and you know, I'll say like of the past year that has been making me the most money, and he's great. Like
I
very
will
helpful.
say that that's a different scenario because they require such a quick turnaround, as
Yes, and
opposed
also
to like
because it's a very big thing. Like American Dad is 21 seasons long,
right.
and you kind of have to know the show. And like he does like King of the Hill stuff, he does South Park stuff,
And he
does,
covers these shows
that
like
kind of stuff.
a day or so after the episode comes out. I can understand
always
why
been
you would
impressed
require
by
an editor
that.
for that because that's such a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
considered looking into editing for Shafferless. Because I know people who do.
Nice.
I probably could get into it, but I don't know. I mean,
I have a few friends who edit for Schaeferless. Definitely.
there's just Schaeferless. Yeah, I'm such a fake asshole. Like I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
A fake
I don't know.
asshole.
It's
As opposed to
like,
being a real
it's
asshole.
something. But yeah, I mean, I have a few friends who do it for him, and they have good things to say. So yeah, I mean, if you can get it, all the more power to you.
Well, that's another guy with a really quick turnaround as well.
Yeah, for the most part. But I also appreciate how like he'll say, "I'm not going to talk about this," and then just doesn't talk about it. Like he's like, "I'm not talking about Star Wars," and then doesn't talk about Star Wars, except for like when he talks about like shows he watched that year or movies or something like that.
Yeah.
But like not like talking about it in general. Like, okay, I respect that. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're, I can never hate on freelance editors because they get paid the big bucks. I understand where you're coming from for freelance writers, but I also think that that's also very, it's very situational.
Well, that's why like Matt Pat left, right? Is that everyone was really upset that he said he was retiring, and then he's like, "Well, listen, like the last couple of years, I don't even write or edit for Game Theory. I just read whatever they give me." He was just like the face of it. Like he didn't really have involvement. Yeah. Not that his theories were like groundbreaking when it was just him doing it, but that's why I don't think he ever like disliked FNAF or all that other stuff, but it kind of made me sad when people dogged on the whole Sans' Nest thing, because I was just stoked that he was talking about Earthbound again because it was his favorite
I've considered
game.
making a video about the Sans' Nest thing, like just like looking back on it, because I think it'd be kind of interesting. Just because I think it's I don't know. Matt Pat specifically has always been a figure that sort of fascinates me, because like I feel like especially in the kind of video game, you know, I don't like using the term video essay, but there is like I think there is some utility to using that term. Like there was something about his video like the way he talked about games that I think was influential. And honestly, he was like one of the first people in that kind of sphere who kind of clued in to how the business works, you know, for better or for worse. I think some people kind of resent him for that, but
I do.
On some level, like I kind of respect him as like an entrepreneur.
Sure. Yeah, now he's going into office or something.
Now he's a politician.
I mean, that's totally fine, but like, and it's not his fault, right? It's the same thing of people being like, oh man, Pro Jared ruins how people talk about Final Fantasy, or like Egoraptor ruined how people talk about Sonic. Like it really isn't the person's fault if their audience regurgitates their takes. Like I don't think that's on the person themselves.
Dude, I feel like people saying that, like when people say stuff like that, it's very much like a product of jealousy.
Yeah,
straight up.
I think
I'll say that,
I will
but
say with the Egoraptor thing, I think the problem isn't him. I think the problem was Sega in general, because they kind of saw how popular. They were really leaning into it. That was what really perpetuated the issue. So that is entirely on them. I still have a little bit of contempt for him, but like I'd say that is a lot on Sega themselves.
Yeah. I think that my take on it had always been that Sonic as a character, as a franchise, is built around the young generation and what they think is cool. So in the 80s, 90s, it was that very radical attitude style character. And then in the 2000s, it became very edgy and gritty. Yeah. And in the 2010s, Sonic became self-deprecating because that's what the kids
Mario
liked
Galaxy.
In the 2010s. They're like, I'm trash. I'm going to kill myself. You know, stuff like that. Like that's what's popular with the kids in the 2010s. And in the 20s, it's, I don't know, brain rot, earnestness. I like to think it's earnestness. But
we're
Well,
gonna
we
make
only
the
had, like,
2020s
one-
about love.
yeah, it's
Was
finally
Forces
time.
10s or 20s?
Forces was in the teens. Yeah, the 10s.
So then the only like mainline Sonic game we had in the 2020s is
Frontiers?
Frontiers, right?
Yeah.
What about?
Well, we
oh,
also
yeah.
have the
Even Ace
movies and Sonic X Shadow. Like, I know that's not a mainline game, but
I mean, that's a little different, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how far we strayed from Nintendo Directs.
Oh yeah, we'll go back to. I feel like there was something else I was gonna. Anyway. I wanted to say all that. I was saying like, oh, it's not this YouTuber's fault that people regurgitate their opinions. But, however, I do think that Matt Pat sort of gave into the gamification of YouTube. That's a really big thing now, and sort of opened the floodgates. You know, your Mr. Beasts and all that. And I have no problem. I want to say, despite what we've been talking about on this stream, I have no problem with YouTubers making their career YouTube or taking ad reads to get by to support their content. However, I do take umbrage with people who just get into it to be famous and have money. Like, you gotta at least like making videos a little bit. As opposed to chasing the... it's not Matt Pat's fault, but all of this leaning into, like, the algorithm, quote unquote, I really hate it. And I think he contributed to the gamification of YouTube. The game theory.
I think he was one of the first people who really tried to understand it, because I remember in like 2014 or 15, or I remember that video he made about like PewDiePie and PewDiePie's ability, like how PewDiePie specifically got super big. Even nowadays, I'm pretty sure PewDiePie hates that video, but he kind of brings up like how certain elements and how YouTube recommends content kind of benefited PewDiePie. And I think, like, honestly, that's kind of hard to hear. I mean, because even if you know, Matt Pat was trying to say like, hey, I'm not trying to like diss, you know, the work, you know, Felix puts in, there's still something kind of implied there, like, oh, you got lucky, dude.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. The point I'm making is that I remember he brought up how annotations, because what he would do is in like back in like 2012 to 15, maybe, that's kind of a, you know, ballpark estimate, but he would sort of do a lot of annotation votes things, like, oh, click the left side if you do this, or click, you know, he would do stuff like that. And what he eventually revealed later on is he was doing that as sort of market research. He found out people were more likely to click things on the left, for example. And I don't know, I mean, maybe there were creators who did that before, but he was the first person I really saw who talked about stuff like that.
I know it is real. Like, I know that it's not just some boogeyman that people made up, but I just don't like algorithm talk. I find it really annoying, especially when people blame the algorithm on, I don't want to say their own shortcomings, but, you know, sometimes it just is what it is. Like, the last year and even into this year, the videos haven't been getting the same amount of views, and I'll occasionally get comments of people being like, man, YouTube's trying to keep you down. Like, I haven't been shown these videos in so long. But I personally, as a consumer on YouTube, I've never had that problem. I've never come across a YouTuber I'm subscribed to and been like, oh my God, they didn't show me your video. That's never really happened to me. And you want to believe it a little bit, right? If you see the number go down and people are telling you like, oh no, it's not you, the world's against you, they're trying to keep you down, you kind of believe it a little bit.
It helps you make peace with the information.
Yeah, but it's not...
I will say I have experienced that. Not like to my channel. I've experienced that with people I've subscribed to.
Oh, like you haven't seen their new videos?
Where it's crazy too, because I have notifications for these channels.
Yeah.
And for some reason, some of them will be like, oh, this person just uploaded a new video, and the video is like 2 weeks old. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me this 2 weeks ago? What happened?
I understand that, but to me, 2 weeks is a little bit of a marginal difference. Like, as long as it's still within a couple months, it's not too late.
I mean...
Depends on the content. Depends on the content.
Those first few days are kind of important.
I've heard that.
Like for stuff that I make, the first 2 days don't really matter that much. But for example, people who make daily like news videos, like theoretically, you know, YouTubers who talk about like what we're doing, like video game news, like their videos kind of are obsolete 2 weeks later, you know?
Yeah.
But I get the general point.
But I can understand why those videos wouldn't do well either if you're making so many of them.
Yeah, that's part of it too, frankly.
But what I was getting at is just that you know, the belief was like, oh man, the system, it is me, like I'm the hero, whatever. And then I got another comment from a video that somebody said like, oh man, I'm so glad like the algorithm brought me back here. I never would have known. And it was like, well, you could subscribe, like you don't have to, but you shouldn't rely on the algorithm to show you the videos.
For what it's worth, I think that's how a lot of people do it. And, you know, even without realizing, that's kind of how I do it too, because a lot, like usually when I open YouTube, I check my subscriptions, but I'll also just kind of open it up and it'll have like the list of, you know, the first thing it shows you is the For You page, or I don't know if it's called the For You page on YouTube. But it's like, it's all the things that it assumes or guesses you'll like, and sometimes it's new stuff by creators, and that's how most people get their views. I mean, if you check how if you check, you know, your YouTube video analytics, most of the views usually are because YouTube, well, at least for videos that do well, most of the views are because YouTube directly recommended it to the end user. So
no, I understand that. I'm just saying, the onus isn't on YouTube. Like if somebody said like, oh man, I'm glad the algorithm brought me back, I won't say like, man, I can't believe YouTube didn't recommend my video to you. That's so fucked up. Like it is what it is. To each their own, as we experience them. But as we were going through all the directs we were discussing and going week by week, like I said, the next release is going to be Pokepokia, and then the Talking Flower. I'm sure. Next is February 19th, and then February 26th, and then Pokepokia, Talking Flower. March 19th is in there somewhere, and then Mario Wonder, and then some gap, and then Tomodachi Life. But as of right now, we've gone a couple weeks, meaning we've got the Tomodachi Life Direct, we have got Mario Tennis Fever, and we have got the Virtual Boy peripheral for Nintendo Switch Online. And Dan, you ordered the Virtual Boy, correct?
I did. I have it in my possession.
Oh, have you had an opportunity to play any Virtual Boy games on the Nintendo Switch too?
I played a little bit. I really wanted to just do some Mario Tennis stuff just in preparation for today.
Sure.
Which I actually have a bit to say about.
I haven't played it yet, but I fully intend to by the weekend.
In regards to what I played for the Virtual Boy, what I find interesting is it actually doesn't, it's not terrible, and the 3D is nice, but what's weird is that the red lens, at least in the actual Virtual Boy, not the Labo one, is removable. Like, you can remove the red lens, but for whatever reason, it's still red in the app. Like,
wait, so like
the
physically removable on the peripheral?
Yeah, the red lens is removable completely.
Okay.
Like, you can play the other VR games with the Virtual Boy. The Zelda stuff, the Mario Odyssey, Captain Toad, Smash Bros, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it comfortable?
It's not terrible. I will say this is more of a me thing. I don't have like the best desk space where I am. So I have to like kind of connoiter something with like some boxes to make it work. But if you have like a good desk space, I think it could work pretty well. You cannot do this for more like 1 to 2 hours. So you're going to be bending over a lot. But what I was trying to say is like, I don't know why they did this, but the games themselves are red, even with like the thing removed. They're not black and white. They're red. And I know they're saying they're adding black and white later, but my thought was then, why not make it black and white if the red lens is there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why not have that be a thing?
Well, it seems like then
if it's
the red lens
red
doesn't...
in the beginning, why even have the red lens at all?
Right. Does the red lens even do anything, or is it just aesthetic?
It makes it redder.
Great. Fantastic. It makes the blacks red, so it's actually one solid red image.
Exactly. But I will say, as someone who never experienced the original Virtual Boy, the 3D is, and I never really experienced Labo either. The Virtual Boy does a relatively good job. That being said, I think there are a few flaws. I haven't really like given a good look through completely, but the fact that there isn't a slot to have something you can plug in to charge your thing while you're playing seems like a massive like missed potential thing, given that you cannot play this in docked.
That's the opposite of the actual Virtual Boy's problem, that it needed to be plugged in.
Exactly. And the other thing is what was it? There was something else that's going to bother me, and it was something to my tongue. Um. Oh yeah, and then there's also just like, don't guys, modding is illegal. Don't do it. It's very difficult to mod a 3DS. Don't mod a 3DS. But if you were to mod a 3DS, there's an emulator that's fully compatible called Red Viper, and it is just like infinitely better than this. It is like crazy how good it is. Like, you can do black and white, you can do red, you can do green, you can do yellow. You can do stereoscopic 3D, so you can actually like control how 3D it is. Not to say that this doesn't have that, but it's a much lesser feature. Like it's a lot more cumbersome, and it's not a pain to play. Like, they made the games able to be played not painfully. And I understand the criticism. Why not make it 2D? Like, I completely understand why the fact that you have to buy this. Like, I don't understand why they can do this. At the same time, I also know, like, some of these games would be a bitch to play in 3D or in 2D. Like, Virtual Boy Wario Land doesn't seem like that big a deal to play in 2D, but like, if you actually like play it and go through it deeper and deeper, it kind of gets a lot more difficult to play in 2D. Like, there are parts that are difficult. So the fact that the Red Viper exists and you can play it on a 3DS is, don't mod your 3DS, but like, I'm also saying, like, you can do it. Like that, I think that's a much better option
than the Virtual Boy.
Yes.
That's your ultimate take on that. See, this is what, because like tennis, I'm going to play eventually. I want to hear your thoughts, but that one, I'm just like, I'll pass on the Virtual Boy. I think, at least the peripheral and the connections of it. Because you can't play it without,
if, like, after a year, they're gonna like be like, well, now that everyone who bought it.
Now that all the idiots who like, no,
now all the idiots bought this $100 piece of plastic that you can only play once you spend $50 a year. I guess now we can make an option to play it without the peripheral. I guess.
I mean, I hope so. No offense, I hope so, but I don't know. This seems like some shit they just keep it that way. But we're still waiting to be drip fed other Nintendo Switch Online stuff anyway. But before we get into the... Oh, yeah, of course.
We are still waiting for Donkey Kong 64. And I'm going to bring that up every time until it drops.
Yeah, same goes with Half-Life 3. We're almost there. We're getting closer.
Exactly.
It's bound at least. We have the list of releases. Oh, also, okay. Oh, I guess just before Aces, or I keep calling it Aces. Mario Tennis Fever. There was a state of play. What happened here? Is there anything in it you want to talk about?
My computer's there's a new Metal Gear Solid collection coming out.
Okay.
That looks cool. That's a big deal because people love MGS4 and it's been locked to the PS3, like specifically the PS3, and it's very hard to emulate, so it is kind of a big deal.
Because of the PS3's proprietary disc format.
Konami really, like I said, Konami kind of like killed it. They had the new Silent Hill game announced. A new Castlevania announced, the Rayman collection, which I pre-ordered, but also apparently has some problems.
What does that mean?
The Rayman, well, they redid the OST for a lot of it.
Oh.
Well, for all of it, and it isn't great. It's not bad, but the music in Rayman is like it's very like iconic. And I know why they did it, because they wanted to remaster the whole soundtrack, but the original composer had passed away in 2019, and he didn't do all the music, and they were able to like do the music that wasn't his, but they couldn't. It would be weird for them to only do some of the tracks, not all the tracks. So I get why they did it, but I think they also know that, like, yeah, we have to. We're seeing people upset about this. We're gonna look into this and see if we can add the original OST down the line. But other than that, it's a pretty good collection. I mean, you could play the game a bunch of different ways. They released an unreleased SNES port. There are some user levels from the MS-DOS version, like over like 300, I think.
Oh, wow.
That are even harder than the actual Rayman. And that game is notoriously hard. So it's not a bad collection for the price.
I'm too much of a new gen Rayman fan. You know,
Yeah.
like the young whippersnappers that are only like Rayman Legends and Origins. They don't know the true gritting your teeth. Shout out Ben Quadinaris, by the way. I said that I was so stoked. This is my favorite announcement of the Game Awards, the Galactic Racer, because I said during the Switch 2's release weekend when we were playing like Fast Fusion, I would love another like Glup Shido Star Wars racer. And now we got more pod racing, and I may need to cover even more pod racing. Oh yeah, do we have the release date for Mina the Hollower? A lot's riding on this.
Spring 2020. Oh yes, there's that. Spring 2026. I'm very worried.
Yeah.
Because I love Yacht Club. Oh, jump scare. Ooh, scary. I really hope it does so well. I will be picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, even then, this is not my kind of game at all. I just think Shovel Knight had more universal appeal.
Yeah.
But I also understand making Shovel Knight and that is your entire identity isn't good. Like, you can't have one game be your entire identity.
Right.
Even Epic has more than Fortnite.
Right. Another thing that happened in between episodes of Switch 2 Ultra is Edmund McMillan's new game Mugenics came out. And I don't know if either of you guys have played it, but that's the creator of The Binding of Isaac. And I really like Isaac. I like everyone who plays it. I like Edmund a lot as an artist. But Mugenics is just like... it's just not... It's a Fire Emblem, basically. It's not really for me. And I didn't even know what the game was before it came out. I'm like, holy shit, new Edmund. And I didn't think it was going to be just like more Isaac, but I thought it was going to be something... I guess it's not that too dissimilar from like the upgrades of Isaac. You know, a dungeon crawler is not dissimilar to a rogue-like strategy game like that, but it's not something I would like want to play. Not that it's bad, but it's just not for me.
I mean, honestly, the fact that like it released and then it's like, oh, this is the best-selling game of all time on Steam or whatever it was. I'm like, wait, when did this happen? What happened? What?
Yeah.
I found out the guy who did Mega Man Dies at the End was one of the main animators for that game, so I am glad that it
that's nuts. It has a bunch of voice cameos in it.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't H3 in that?
Yeah,
Didn't
Ethan
that
and
kinda,
Ela are
have some
voices in that
controversy?
game. Yeah, I think their lines were
crazy to
recorded.
think about.
I think their lines were recorded years in advance.
I think like iDubbbz is literally in it too. So
yeah,
it's like
that that shit's been in development for a long time. But
they even took out JonTron from Ukulele. They could have done something. I'm not gonna lie.
That was like maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he don't got internet. But for the state of play, the only thing that was like new that I added to my list was this Dead or Alive game. I've never really been into Dead or Alive, not for anything against it. I just like never had an opportunity to do so. But the last couple of years with the new slate of fighting games, the Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, and Tekken 8, those ones I've been really getting into, like for the first time majorly into these franchises. And I marked this on my calendar. I'm like, oh, I should play this game. And I realized when looking at my calendar that this game comes out the day, like it comes out Evo weekend, the day before Evo starts. So I wonder if it'll have a presence there or not. They don't really say anything, but that's a very specific time to be releasing it. And then on top of...
This game always looked fascinating to me, like Dead or Alive series. I love how there is a sub-game, or a spin-off that is very different, but just as, if not more popular.
Was that Ryu Hayabusa? I think it was.
I think so, it was. Also,
From
is
Smash
Dead or
Bros.
Alive
fame?
6 already a game? Or is this Dead or Alive 6 Last Round? Or is Last Round like in addition to Dead or Alive 6? I don't know the numbering
I
system.
think this is like kind of an enhanced edition.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Okay,
a
I
new
wasn't
game
sure.
altogether. Wait, let me look into this actually.
Killer Instinct had that whole thing where it was like free to play. And then they did like a gold version like later on.
Didn't they update that game like 2 years ago? Oh yeah, this game came out in 2019. Okay.
Killer Instinct's one of my favorite fighting games. The Xbox One. That one is very shockingly good. It's very different, but I do enjoy that a lot.
There was a bit, not in the 360 era when they wanted it to be, but like in the later Xbox One era, or I guess early Xbox One, when it did seem like Rareware was starting to actually do shit.
Oh yeah, there was like Rare Replay. There was Killer
Like, more
Instinct,
so than
although
the
that wasn't
360.
that wasn't rare. That was I think that was Iron something or another. There was Battletoads. Remember Battletoads? Remember the whole
Even Sea of Thieves was the
controversy
Xbox
with
One
Battletoads?
era, and then they announced a Perfect Dark game that just never came out, but they did announce it.
Yeah, it never came out.
Yeah. And then we have a release date for this now, but this is after EVO. This is, I believe, in like later July. Yeah, no, it's actually August 6th. And I've been excited for this for a long time.
And you know what? I will say, like, I hate corporate mergers more than anything. But this is like the one upside of corporate mergers is that like Marvel games can actually have all the Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Like there was a time when Marvel games could not have X-Men characters.
Well,
unless they were X-Men games. And then it was like it really did like it was pretty like funny seeing them have to work around that.
Right, but I thought that was less of like a rights issue and more that just they didn't want to focus on the X-Men because they weren't using them.
I think it was a rights issue.
Well, yeah, Marvel didn't have the right. Well, like Disney didn't have the rights to X-Men or.
Yeah, but they didn't develop the game. I'm talking about the final Marvel versus Capcom game.
No, but I think if you're using the Marvel, like that Marvel logo in particular, it falls under the Disney Marvel umbrella.
Oh,
so that's why things like X-Men, Fantastic Four, I think even Spider-Man had a bit of a problem for a little bit.
Well, the Spider-Man games they're not Sony, right? Is it not Sony Studios?
No, they are Sony.
Yeah.
That is Sony. Because Sony still does own the rights to Spider-Man for the most part.
And a lot of the characters.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, like, it's all very confusing.
You know, I just thought they just didn't want to use the X-Men because they weren't being in the movies at the time. And now, like, you know, regardless of how you feel about the current slate of Marvel stuff, the fact that we're on the cusp of a Doctor Doom resurgence, whether or not it's a good portrayal of him or not, as the only Marvel games I ever liked being Marvel vs. Capcom games, I'm very excited for that. Because this is the closest we're going to get towards a new Marvel vs. Capcom game. It's a tag fighter Marvel game. Like, that's what it is, basically. It's just more Guilty Gear.
Right. I miss Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Well, hey, you could play it in the collection now.
You can. I do like playing it in the collection
with rollback netcode.
Although Ultimate is fantastic. I can't believe how long it took for MV's C3 Ultimate to really like take off in popularity. Like I just remember people complaining it's not MVC2, it's not 2D, it looks bad, and I love that game so much.
Yes.
Honestly, those two games are really good, and then they kind of just like the core gameplay of Infinite's not terrible, but it's just so
it removed beloved characters.
Soulless
is the main thing.
It's soulless.
But that's what I had heard is that like they didn't have Magneto or Doom or Wolverine in the game, not because of rights, but just because they like, oh, we're not. Let's move towards characters that we're using for the movies. I always thought it was more of like a corporate. It doesn't make any sense because
it released around Jean Grey Phoenix, so it's like, you know,
yeah,
you want to do something with that.
I guess because that was the big like meme is that the developer said like, oh well, there are characters that control like them, so it's basically the same thing.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Character functions over character features. But those are all of the direction information. So before we get into a thrilling new segment that I'd like to do regularly, we can jump back over here. I want to hear your at least like initial thoughts about Mario Tennis Fever. How much of it have you played?
I finished Adventure.
Oh wow, how long is it?
Yeah, it's not very long. It's like 3.5, maybe 4 hours.
It's gonna take me 6.
The Adventure is the weakest part.
Really?
And I think yes. It is not very fun. It's not terrible. It is miles better than the Super Rush BS. Like, that still bothers me how bad that was. This has stuff that feels like a beginning, middle, and end, but it also kind of has the same problem where it feels like half of it feels like it's the beginning, and then the other half you're kind of speed running through. But at the very least, it's quick enough where it's not golf. That's the thing. It's not golf. So it's not just complete slowness. And It's not bad. It's just
It's tennis.
they left a lot out of the direct in regards to like what it actually is, and I can see why they did, because I don't know if I could spoil. I don't know if I should spoil this or not. It's not a spoiler as much as it is just like you're gonna figure this out on your own. But like half of it is at the academy. Like that's the entire like hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Oh, learning how to play tennis.
And it is very boring in the beginning. And honestly, it doesn't get much better as it goes on. Once you get out, it does get a little better. But like at that point, you're already halfway over. It's not a good mode. It's not a terrible mode. Like I said, I think there are things I like about it. I like that it doesn't waste your time that much, at least after the academy. Like there's not a lot of time wasting. And the cutscenes look phenomenal. Like it is shocking how good they are making these characters look. But they also kind of did this thing that bothers me where they ended the game and they did a little bit of like, they did a little bit of an oopsie where it's just like they forgot to follow up on something and they just never followed up on it. And I looked over and I'm like, no, I'm not missing any cutscenes. I'm not missing any movies or anything like that. Yeah, they never followed up and I'm like, oh, I guess that's just it. So yeah, there's that. But honestly, this is like the best it has felt to play the game. Like it is a really fun, really nice controlled playing game.
Like the best time of Fever or like the best Mario Tennis?
It might be the best feeling Mario Tennis.
Okay. See, I believe that.
I love Power Tennis, and I think Power Tennis has better I think it has better variety in certain areas, but like this is pretty close. This is pretty darn close, which is kind of saying a lot because Ace is kind of like played with the idea a little bit.
Yeah.
But this takes it and kind of runs with it, and there is some fun. And also, you're gonna spend your time like unlocking things. You have to like spend time unlocking things.
That's my favorite thing to do.
And the good thing is like you can see what you need and how much progress. Like the achievements are all like, oh, these are the characters you have to unlock. These are the alternate costumes. These are the courses. You have to unlock other difficulty levels. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it tells you like how long you have.
I mean, people dog on games being built like on top of other games, but the fact that like this has all the characters that Aces had and Aces was clearly built on top of Ultra Smash, it at least confirms that from a certain point, each game will at least be better than the previous. Marginally.
Yes. And well, except for Super Rush. That one, they kind of, I don't know what they did with Super Rush. That one, I love World Tour and I just did not like, I did not like Super Rush at all. Honestly.
Well, we just got to wait 2 more years and then we'll get a new Mario Golf and it'll be built on top of that one.
It's also funny because when the first time you boot up the game, they do a tutorial and that counts as a game. And right after you finish the tutorial, you get your first unlock. So I think that's funny. But what's kind of annoying is nothing you do in adventure mode counts towards that, which is a little frustrating because it's like, you know, you're playing games still. It's not all games, but like there's some games. Why is none of this counting? But other things do count towards it, which is good at least. And the other thing is you're going to learn about lob shots and drop shots. And I'm telling you this for your own sanity. You want to map those to either the ZL, ZR, or L and R buttons. Do not do the A then B or B then A, because 9 out of 10 times it's not going to work. And you're going to get really frustrated. And I think they knew that, and that's why it's like built in, like that you can map it to those. I think that's fascinating that those aren't just the options, because it just does not work 9 out of 10 times. But once you map it to those buttons, it works. It works perfectly fine. I have not done tournament mode yet. I did the special matches because you have to do some special stuff to unlock courts and characters and stuff like that. You do. I lied though. You actually do unlock. You unlock Fever rackets through adventure mode, That's the only thing you unlock, though.
Well, that seems to be the primary mechanic of the game, is mix and matching characters and rackets.
And I will say they are fun. They are actually really fun, those Fever rackets. But even like without them, the main gameplay mechanic of Fever is just really like the technical aspect is so good. Like they really tightened it out. And they also do not have a level where there's a giant pole in the middle. So automatically that gives it a point above aces. If you know, you know. Just, I can't tell you how many times that airship level in aces fucked me over. I hate that level.
I feel like I just earnestly... I just have a bad memory in general, but it's like, oh man, 2018? That's a different life altogether.
I think so.
Who can remember these things? Well, those are...
That one court in particular really screwed me over. But honestly, like I said, this game surprised me. And I can't say adventure mode is the gimmick that makes it bad.
I was going to say, would you say that Mario Tennis Fever good but not great?
That's not fair. Because it's not... Because with Super Rush's adventure mode, that is just golf. And they make it not fun. The adventure mode for Fever, they do different things that are not just tennis. In a way, they're kind of like little Mario Party minigames. And if you don't have fun with that, I can't put that
There's
on
no help
the actual tennis experience. So I might say I was wrong in that regard. Because honestly, this is a really... It's not... I will say it's not $70. It is not worth the $70, even if it was my favorite.
Yeah, but you know what game
I will say, I think I was wrong. I'm going to say I was wrong on this one. Mario Tennis Fever is it is one of, if not the best Mario Tennis games. It is tied with 64 and Power Tennis.
But is it great?
I would say so.
Whoa!
If you think Power Tennis is great, I think you're going to think Fever is great.
Okay. I don't think I played Power Tennis. I'll have to see. I'll get back to you in a week's time once I played a little Mario Tennis Fever. Not as much, but just a little bit. And then we'll compare notes on this. And that has been, I mean, for the time we've been gone, again, the partner showcase, the PlayStation State of Play, and the Tomodachi Life Direct. We've been going over several directs and presentations. And we have been workshopping ideas for doing something special at some place special. And there's one idea that we didn't end up doing, but I do think that idea would work for this show, for Switch 2 Ultra. And I've seen other streamers do it all in one sitting, but I think it would be better if we go 1 week at a time, just a little look back as we are waiting for the next proper Nintendo Direct to happen. It is 2026 after all, which means it has been 15 years since 2011. Can I ask you guys, what were you guys doing in October of 2011?
Shit.
Oh God, I think I was in fifth grade.
Did Pokemon Black? When did Pokemon Black and White come out? I think that was like March of 2011, right?
Now, in America, it was 2011. Yes, it was early 2011.
Yeah, because it was like August 2010. Shit. What came out in October 2011?
The 3DS, right? When did
the 3DS. So I didn't get the 3DS until Christmas.
I didn't get that till like 2012, 2013, I think.
All right, let me be sure of the 3DS release date. Yeah, it was February 2011. Yeah. I think I've told this story before, and it sort of paints my future of I'm really bad at getting rid of hardware, is that there was a deal. I wanted to get the 3DS at launch because, like, the Wii, I was still a kid, and we got it as a family. By the time of the 3DS 2011, I was like decently online. So I was aware that the handheld was happening, not just through commercials, but because of people covering it on YouTube, because of Let's Players I like, people who do walkthroughs talk about the new upcoming console. And I lived vicariously through other Let's Players that got the 3DS at launch. That I think GameStop was doing a deal that if you traded in your DS, you can get the 3DS for cheaper. And I was like, oh man, maybe I can, instead of waiting for Christmas, I can afford it if I do it this way. And I paced around my house. I wavered over it for weeks, and I just could not part with my DS Lite that I still have to this day, even though like the shell part's busted. That I felt emotionally attached to the DS. I'm like, I want the 3DS, and I could just play DS games on the 3DS, but I can't get rid of this thing. It's been with me the whole time.
Yeah, I still have my DS Lite for the same reason, because I remember what they were making the DSi, and I knew some people say that they traded in their DS Lite for a DSi. I didn't know the specifics of the deal, and I decided against it because like I think one thing was the fact that the DS could play Game Boy Advance games that I didn't have the Game Boy Advance, but also like I don't know, like it was a sentimental thing to me. I just didn't want to get rid of it.
I probably have my DS Lite somewhere, but I don't know where it is now. I do have my 3DS still with me. Well, no, I actually don't know where my 3DS is either. I have my new 3DS XL with me.
I don't know where that is either.
No, that I do know where that is.
No, I love my new 3DS XL.
That thing is comfortable. That is a shockingly comfortable system.
Like I remember a couple months, the B button wasn't working, so I was like, man, shit. Like, I don't know what to do with this. So I called like a repair store, and the guy's like, bro, I don't work with 3DSs. I hate 3DSs. I'm like, all right, well.
He's a vendetta.
So, yeah, no, literally. No, I think that guy just had like too many bad experiences, like trying to fix people's 3DSs or something. But I then just like took some like spray dust or air duster thing. I just kind of like did it at the B button. It worked good as new.
It's always compressed air.
Gamer dust off.
Yeah, no, literally the gamer gunk.
My battery started ballooning, which is apparently a thing. So I had to buy a spare one, and I did it right before they were just like, "Oh, we're not doing this anymore. Sorry." So luckily, I lucked out with that. I actually haven't turned it on in a while. I should turn it on just to make sure it still works, because you don't want to keep it off for too long.
Yeah,
and I like stuff on there. That's how my modded 3DS is how I played the DS Zelda games, because I never actually bought those. And then I wanted to try them out because I was going through a Zelda thing. I think the only game I haven't actually played through completely. Well, I haven't played through Wind Waker completely. I'm almost done with that. And I really just haven't played through Twilight Princess either. Those are the only two like mainline games I haven't played through completely.
I should put that on the 3DS. Well, interestingly enough, well, if we're gonna look through Nintendo's 2011, is that the launch of the 3DS? I believe it's around here with Nintendogs Plus Cats, Pilot Wings Resort, Steel Diver, and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. And then was Star Fox 64 3D, was that also a launch title?
It might have been. I think I remember it being a.
I think it was.
Mass Attack came out after the 3DS launch. That's crazy.
Dude, looking down here, I was like, holy shit, Skyward Sword and Mario Kart 7 came out like the same month. That feels wrong. Like, that doesn't feel right.
I also, you know what, also, and I don't mean to brag, I still have The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Anniversary Edition on my 3DS.
I do too. It like came with it,
on my... I had it. I got it on my
I do too. Yeah.
3DS,
and we should play it, the three of us, with our DS download play. That's oh man. Well,
that is so. I thought I lost it like when I made the switch to 3DS XL, and I'm like, wait a minute, can I just go to my downloads page and like, will it be there? I'm like, oh, it's there. Okay.
It's not on my XL. It's on my like the 3DS I started with. That I think so. What I'm getting at is that there is a list of every Nintendo Direct, and listen, since I've been online, like
the first Direct,
like 2020 onward, I've been archiving my own reactions to Directs for the last, I think, couple years, 23 onward. We've been watching Directs together even before we started the show, and now that we have the show, we're watching all the Directs. That maybe from a archival standpoint, we should start working backwards a little bit until eventually we've gone through every Direct. So I think, and they're going to get longer and longer, but there should be a regular segment at the end of Switch to Ultra, as long as we have the time. Oh, that's a picture of the 3DS. That each week we'll go through a new Nintendo Direct, and we'll just see what was happening at the time. And I wasn't able to find the Japanese one from December, so the only Nintendo Direct, the first Nintendo Direct, took place October 21st, 2011. So the 3DS was already out by that point. However, Pokemon Rumble Blast, Super Mario 3D Land, and Mario Kart 7 hadn't released yet. And those 3 games in particular, I remember so vividly because I think I got my 3DS this Christmas. I think I got it Christmas Eve. For whatever reason, I got it early, and then I spent all of Christmas Eve trying to unlock everything in Mario Kart 7. And then I think I got 3D Land for actual Christmas, and I spent all day playing that. And I also remember playing Pokemon Rumble Blast, but I think that was because I watched Let's Players play it. It was like I think it was on the John Marco channel, or the John Carlo channel, my mistake, because I was very dedicated to whatever Let's Players I was watching at the time. And worth noting that I haven't played Star Fox 64, or I think I have played Ocarina of Time 3D, but at the time, Star Fox 64 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D, before I even had the 3DS, I was living vicariously through these Let's Players, so I would watch Super Skarmory every night play Star Fox 64 and Ocarina of Time, and I was like, man, this is what the 3DS is gonna be like. Did you guys ever watch Super Skarmory?
I know the name, but I never really watched him.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the timeline of Nintendo, this is where we are right now. Professor Layton and the Last Scepter had just released. We got Black and White, Pokemon Black and White at the beginning of the year. I don't know how...
Yo, Pushmo, base Pushmo. I love Pushmo.
Maybe I got it later, or maybe I'm like... Because I distinctly remember getting Black and White and then playing it on my 3DS. So maybe I didn't get Black and White in 2011. Even though I remember pre-ordering it. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I got the 3D. No, that doesn't make sense either. I'm realizing now that I'm putting these dates together that my memories are collapsing around me. We Play Motion, Pilot Wings Resort, Kirby Mass Attack, and then, yeah, they're the Four Swords Anniversary Edition. And later in the year, we get 2012 Olympic Games and Skyward Sword. For whatever reason, I always equate Skyward Sword to being, like, way earlier.
It does.
Nah, Skyward Sword is like totally 2011 for me.
2011 core. That's why Zelda month started. Because I did play the London 2012 Olympic Games, because this is like a yellow box, and I still have it. I never played Return to Dreamland. Well, I played the deluxe version that's on Sword. Anyway, this is where we're at right now in the timeline of 2011. So if you guys will indulge me in this regular segment, I think we should jump into the Nintendo Direct October 21st, 2011, Reggie Fils-Aimé presents Nintendo updates, and see what they have for the first year of the 3DS. I will take your silence to be agreement.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Oh, I agree. I'm just waiting for it to load.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like, wow. Wow. Bitrate month?
Hi, I'm Reggie from Nintendo of America.
This is Reggie
and
from
this
Nintendo.
Marks a new endeavor for Nintendo.
This does not look 720p.
Video news feeds designed just for you. For this first installment, we've got some important news if you're an owner of a Nintendo 3DS.
His mouth is like
or
wet.
just thinking of becoming
He just finished eating a sandwich.
And really,
his face.
He looks
if you're
he
neither
looks
one yet.
It might be
What's
like the
wrong with
heat
you?
of the light or something.
They put him in a big
Nintendo
white
3DS
room. Yeah.
owners
Wait, you just
already
said what's
know
wrong
what
with
it
you?
delivers.
Oh wait, a classic Reggie?
He called us out.
And really, if you're neither one yet, what's wrong with you? Nintendo 3DS owners
That's actually kind of a
already know-
fucked up thing to say. Is like, oh, you haven't bought a 3DS yet in 2011.
What's your problem, idiot?
what it delivers.
Yeah,
Stupid.
you got to
Great
bring this
games,
energy back for the
and
Switch
also-
too.
What
are you,
Steel
broke?
Driver? You don't want
Photos,
Steel Driver?
AR games, movie trailers, and Street Pass Me Plaza.
And Street Pass Me
All in
Plaza.
full
Raiders.
3D, right there in front of your naked eyes. But now
They have to be
there's
naked.
even
Naked
more.
eyes. Stop saying it
Maybe
like that.
most noteworthy
He's got a glint
is
in
the
his
addition
eyes.
of Hulu Plus service,
Holy shit!
which is coming
Oh my
soon to
God.
Wii and Nintendo 3DS. For less than $8
There was a point in
guys remember
time
Hulu
we had a family Wii, and it was me and my two sisters. And when we first got the Wii for Christmas, we were all just playing our different games. Like my older sister wanted to play Wii Sports, my younger sister wanted to play the High School Musical 3 rhythm game, and I wanted to play Mario Galaxy. And sometimes we would play Mario Kart together. And then a couple years passed, and Netflix dropped on the Wii, and I wanted to like play Wii games, and they were like for our house, the Wii just became a Netflix machine, and I was always so pissed because I wanted to play games on
per
it.
month. You'll
What's
be
so
able
funny
to
about that
enjoy
is that
the
it also like the
entire-
Wii was 480p. So weren't you just like streaming these shows in like 480p?
Yeah, well, we didn't have like there were no like Roku or Fire TV. If you wanted to watch Netflix, you got to get it on the Wii.
current season of popular shows like Dancing with the Stars,
Holy shit!
Modern Family,
No way.
and Glee.
Family Guy?
And
In
Glee.
addition to a huge library of
We gotta get Yahoo
classic
Plus on
TV
this thing.
shows.
Or Yahoo Screen.
Whether you're at home or on the go,
Also, wait,
Hulu
sorry.
Plus
Hulu
on your
Plus?
Wii and Nintendo 3DS.
What's Plus
this
about?
will
It
used to-
provide
I think it used to be
thousands of
called
TV
that, yeah.
episodes
Well, no,
and
because Hulu
hundreds
used
of
to be
movies
free.
Oh, okay.
whenever
And Hulu Plus you could pay
wherever
for.
you want.
What was the difference? Just like
Also
new
on the way
episodes?
at the end of
I think
November
adds certain
is another
episodes.
Oh, okay.
system update for Nintendo 3DS.
System
With
update.
this update,
I remember watching
comes
Family Guy clips on
3D
Hulu,
video recording.
like the
Same.
Hulu YouTube channel.
It will be
Yes.
added to the
3D
Can he
video.
wipe his chin?
It will be added to the 3D
What's
picture
wrong with
taking you already enjoy.
Like, I feel like they got him in the
Stop
middle of
motion
doing
animation
something else.
Is just one example.
Obviously I talked about this in the Robot Chicken video, but I used the shit out of the stop motion. So by this point, when this direct came out, I didn't even have the 3DS. So these updates mean nothing to me
of
right
the
now.
many innovative 3D
For me, they were
videos
always a part of the
you'll
3DS.
be able to create. And up to 10 minutes of 3D
I love
video
doing
can
making
be
stop
recorded
motion movies on my
of
3DS.
anything you
though.
want.
10 minutes?
Birthdays,
You can fucking do
holiday
30 seconds
family
on
gatherings,
Switch.
or your brother drooling in his sleep.
He's projecting.
Almost every Nintendo 3DS owner has jumped.
They
ahead
woke
of
Reggie up
the
from his
to
Reggie nap to
populate
do this.
His Street Pass Me Plaza.
They gotta
The
stop doing
November
the Zoom.
system update also adds more puzzles.
It gets closer every time it
and
cuts
new
back.
challenges. Of course, you don't have to create your own 3D video.
What?
We're providing a lot of content.
Oh
for
shit,
you.
the video app?
Many Nintendo 3DS owners are already familiar with features.
Show me
coming
those
from
funny
DreamWorks
dinosaurs.
Animation, and now a landmark production is on the way. It's the Thriller
Dinosaur
song
Office.
that you know and love, featuring DreamWorks Animation's
Holy
Shrek
fuck.
characters. It's a one-of-a-kind 3D experience you can't buy anywhere else.
Is that still exclusive to the
Once
3DS?
purchased and downloaded, you can keep it for as long
You
as
have
you
to
like.
purchase it?
The catalog of music videos from real-life performers will also grow.
I don't care about the real life performance.
With a
If you
3D
give me more
version
Shrek
of
music
Don't
videos, I'll
Stop
download it.
From
but-
Foster the People.
Oh wow.
All
That's
the-
that's Switch to
foremost,
Ultra right there.
Nintendo 3DS is about games,
Oh,
and the total game library is growing
Is 5.
in ways it never has before. From the Nintendo
5
eShop,
games.
4
We're
great
halfway through this
downloaded
direct.
titles are in the works.
Brings the whole
in
thing
any
full
shape you
circle.
want. Add eyes, arms, legs, wings, any body
So yeah,
part
this
you
is
want,
Freaky Forms. This is
and
what I
let
was
them
talking about
roam
earlier.
across a 3D landscape.
I played the fuck out of this game.
It's a much cuter game than I imagined.
Yo,
Place
push, okay,
where more
no,
than
this is my shit.
250
This direct
puzzles
might be
wait
the
to
best.
solve.
We gotta start
Fucking rock.
comparing these
Puzzles that were
directs.
created
Pushmo
with
is
3D gameplay
fantastic.
in mind.
Push. If you ever played Pushmo,
Is something
the fact
we
that these
showed
aren't on
a
Switch
little
is
of
diabolical.
at last E3. Dylan's Rolling Western.
And Dylan
You
from
follow
Smash
I
Bros.
remember these
Armadillo,
were like
who
a big
defends
deal.
an old Western town rendered in 3D.
We haven't
People
gotten
were,
any
like,
more
so
Dylan.
desperate for like a character that
And
should
finally,
be in Smash Bros back
Swap
then
Note.
because like
Yeah.
no
Your
shade
chance
to
to
Dylan, but like
handwrite
I
your
feel like
own 3D
no one
messages
actually played the game.
Swap Note.
Nikki's
Pictures
also in Smash.
and voice,
Uh-oh.
and send to your friends
Not
via Spot
Swap
Pass and Street Pass.
Do you think
and
they
that's not all.
regretted this?
The
almost
biggest game
instantly?
news for the
Oh.
holidays comes from some of the biggest names in video game history.
So now, I'm gonna let him.
True
Yeah, I had
Pokemon
like
fans
now that I'm
know
remembering
that
first year of
Pokemon
3DS. Yeah, it was
Rumble
Pokemon Rumble.
hits
It was
stores
Freaky Forms.
next Monday, October 24th.
Face Raiders,
Then,
3D Lands,
on November 13th,
Mario Kart 7.
Super Mario 3D Land
Let's
arrives
go.
at retail. There's simply
bap,
nothing
bap.
like
I will say,
maneuvering
having a new
Tanuki
mainline
Mario
3D
through a
Mario
true
followed
3D
by a new
landscape.
Mario Kart like month after
It's the
month
first
is kind
Mario
of crazy.
game
Yeah.
evolved
Well, the 3DS
into
didn't
full
sell well
3D.
early on, not until they cut
It
the
doesn't
price,
get
right?
better or play better.
Yeah, but like
than
it's
that.
still crazy that like those still happen like
But in
1
terms
month
of
after.
Yeah.
adding entirely
Dude,
new
the first
dimensions
year
to a
was
beloved
like
franchise.
it's a remake, but like
Mario Kart
Ocarina
7
of
will
Time,
set
and then a
new
Mario Kart,
standards
and then
when it
3D
hits
Mario.
stores on December 4th.
That's
Yeah,
In
that's
a
why
new
I don't take it that
Iwata
seriously when people
asks
really
on
diss the Switch 2's
Nintendo.com,
first year. I'm like,
you'll
bro,
hear a
it's
great conversation
we've had worse.
about
Like
the addition
3DS took
of
a while
new
to get
community
going.
elements.
Well,
to
it
this
wasn't a bad
first
launch. I just
3D
think it was too
version
expensive.
it
for
wasn't.
people.
It wasn't terrible. It was
Build a
too-
racing
it was too
competition
expensive.
with your own group of friends.
The first year actually was pretty
And
good. Like,
race
people give shit to
against
3D
up to
Land, and it's
7
not
of
the
them
best, but it's still a
online.
very solid game. Mario Kart 7
It's
is
not
very
just
good.
creating
How are you
your
guys
own
celebrating the
is
15th
and
year
inventing
anniversary
your
of the
own rules.
3DS? Wait, hold on.
but
Sorry.
also opening
When did
that
it say the
community,
release date was? I just
seamlessly
looked this
sharing
up.
data and inviting
what?
newcomers
For the
to
3DS.
join
February
via Street
26th,
Pass
so it's
and
almost the
Spot Pass.
anniversary.
And let me
my
close by noting
Yeah, because
the
next
game
episode of
that
Switch 2
we
Ultra is
home
the
console
24th.
owners
We'll have to do a
have
little
been
ode to the
waiting for.
3DS.
The Legend of Zelda
Oh,
Skyward Sword.
This is a pretty
arrives
decent
November
direct for being
20th.
7 minutes. It just doesn't have the pomp and
25th
circumstance.
anniversary symphony concert begins tonight.
Which honestly,
at the
I kinda
Pantages
like.
Theater in Los Angeles.
Yeah, just really
And
quickly
fans
going through
across
it.
the country can look forward to a Zelda concert tour in 2012. But the game itself
Ooh,
is the
guys,
star,
do you think we'll make it?
and you're going to feel
I'm not
the
making it
Zelda
to 2012.
adventure in ways you never have before. It's an unprecedented mix of action and emotion.
It actually looks pretty sick. This is a pretty good
I can't
trailer.
wait to play this game.
I can't wait to play Skyward Sword. Wait, what do you mean
Nintendo's
I need no
delivered
Wii mode?
holiday fun for over 25 years in America. But no previous year has ever matched this one for the breadth and depth
The breadth of the
entertainment
wild.
that awaits you.
Bruh?
No, I literally just thought
He
that.
shook a little bit.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.
Were they
That was like a
hitting us?
post-credit scene. Dude, that was a post-credit scene, straight up.
Oh, you could play this on the Wii?